Honorable Dr. Father Nabor Lakra, Principal of St. Xavier's College, Honorable Dr. Father Robert Pradeep Kuju, Vice Principal, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, Honorable Dr. Father Ajay Minj, Vice Principal, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, Honorable Dr. Father Prabhat Kennedy, Registrar, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, Honorable Father Roshan Ba, Bursar, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, Dr. B.K. Sinha, Head of the Controller of Exams, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, Dr. Marcus Barla, Dean, Students' Welfare, Dr. Julin, Head of the Department of English, Dr. J.P. Pandey, Head of the Department of Hindi, Professor Santosh Kiru, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, all other professors, non-teaching staff, guardians of the students, and my dear students. On behalf of the general body and the governing body of St. Xavier's College, it's my privilege to give you a warm welcome, a hearty welcome to all of you. I understand you have heard the name of Saint Francis Xavier and also other educational institutions which are named after him. And maybe you have also had the privilege of studying in some of them. Today, when you have come to study in this college, it would be good that we know to which society we all belong who run this college. We are Jesuits, and Society of Jesus is the organization to which we belong. It was Saint Ignatius of Loyola who founded it in 1540. The story has been this way. Saint Ignatius of Loyola was born in 1491, just 1 year before Christopher Columbus discovered America. He was born in a noble family, and therefore he had sweet dreams of a wonderful career, especially the military career. He wanted to have a lovely family and earn name and fame. Every young person has such a dream. So Ignatius was no exception. To prove his determination and valor, he then once led the Spanish army against the French to recover the city of Navarre. And in the Battle of Pamplona in 1521, he was hit by a cannonball. And he fell down because his legs were shattered. We can understand that he lost the battle because being the general of the army, he was incapacitated. Though his army lost the battle, he was taken for treatment to the hospital. And thinking that he was a soldier, he would love stories of chivalry, they gave him books on chivalry to read as the treatment was going on. But he did not experience any taste in such books. Then people gave him the lives of saints. And when he read these books, he was motivated, he was inspired, like the Saint Francis of Assisi, Saint Dominic, and all that. So by reading the books, he was inspired. And he said, if these people could do such great things, why couldn't I? And this is how his attraction towards religious life started. He also read the invitation of Christ. And eventually he said that was the life worth living. And therefore he gave up the worldly career he had in mind. He abdicated his inheritance rights and gave up everything that he would acquire and have a wonderful career. And he began to live a life of a mendicant. Namely, he was begging for his food and he spent his time in prayer and penance because he wanted to follow the footsteps of Christ. And to be worthy to do so, he said he needed to do prayer and penance. It was a place called Manrija, which is a cave. It still exists, and it was there that he did his prayer and penance. And he got many illuminations, deep religious insights as what was good, what was not good, how to go about, how to discern, how to judge. All that he got during those days of prayer and penance. And he meticulously wrote them down in a book called The Spiritual Exercises of St. Ignatius. Now, after having spent his time in prayer and penance, he wanted to go to the Holy Land where Jesus Christ had lived and worked. His desire was to live and work there. He was so motivated, but he was not allowed to stay longer, so he came back to Europe. And because he had a desire to become a priest, he went to the University of Paris to study. And it was there that he met Francis Xavier, who also was a Spaniard. Francis Xavier was a brilliant student, brilliant in every way, brilliant in studies, brilliant in sports, brilliant in singing. Any aspect that students could have, he was excellent. And he had also large dreams like Ignatius himself. Ignatius befriended him, made him his personal friend, and shared with him all the spiritual insights that he had. And Francis Xavier imbibed them all. Similarly, there were 7 others in the university whom Ignatius befriended and won them over. And all of them became fast friends of Ignatius. And they decided that whatever experience they had of self-transformation, let them impart it to others through teaching and preaching, and especially through education. And with that mind, they founded the Society of Jesus in 1540, and it was approved by Pope Julius III. There was a heavy demand of Jesuits everywhere for education. There were many young men joining the Society of Jesus, and after rigorous training, they proved to be worthy Jesuits. In this case, Ignatius, who was the Superior General of the Society of Jesus, sent Francis Xavier to India. And we know that he came to Goa in 1542. And as he came there, he learned Konkani, the language of the soil, and started teaching and preaching. He didn't stay there very long. He came down to Kerala, and there he learned Malayalam. Imagine. In few days' time, he would pick up the language and would start teaching and preaching and help others to do the same. The kind of education he had received, he wanted to impart it also here in India. Then he went to Tamil Nadu, learned Tamil. This was the genius of St. Francis Xavier. He also went to Japan, learned Japanese, and wanted to go to China, but he could not do that because his health had broken down. And he died in the island of Shanshan in 1554. That was Francis Xavier. He was canonized along with other saints. That's why we call him Saint Francis Xavier. And under his name, we have any number of educational institutions in the whole world, including India. Please know that in the court of Emperor Akbar, there were Jesuits, because Emperor Akbar had heard of the Jesuit excellence in education. So he wanted that the Jesuits taught the children of his noblemen and enable them to have a worldview so that they could attain better knowledge wherever they went. That's why they were there in the court of Akbar. Now, the motivating factor in the life of Ignatius was experiencing God so profoundly that his life was totally changed. And so also happened to the rest of his companions. So they took a resolve that education would be one way through which they could bring about this change or transformation in individuals and in society. Let us also know how education spread here in India. As we have heard that Francis Xavier came to India in 1542. He established schools, and later on his followers started secondary schools and colleges. St. Xavier's Mumbai was started in 1869. St. Xavier's Kolkata was started in 1860. Our own college here was started in 1944. And since then, it has gone up, and it is one of the most prestigious institutions in India. Let us also know that there have been outstanding scholars, Jesuits. First of them was Robert de Nobili. He lived from 1577 to 1656. He was the first European who was a scholar in Sanskrit. Can you imagine a person coming from the West and mastering the language of India, and Sanskrit of all? Another person was Henry Roth, lived from 1620 to 1668, another Sanskrit scholar. Then there was another Father Enrique, lived from 1520 to 1600. He learned and wrote Tamil grammar and dictionary. Similarly, Father John Haxlenden lived from 1680 to 1736, mastered Malayalam and wrote grammar and dictionary. Here in our own land, in Chhatnagpur, in Ranchi province, we have had the outstanding scholar, Dr. Father Kamil Bulke, and his PhD thesis called Ramkatha was one of the best theses ever could be written in the personality of Ram. And that earned him a lot of accolades, and the government of India awarded him with Padma Vibhushan for his literary genius. He has also composed English-Hindi dictionary and many books. It is our honor to know that he was the head of the Department of Hindi in the 60s, and we have a rich legacy, therefore, of this particular department. Friends, we can go on and on recounting the stalwarts who have been Jesuits and have served India especially. Now, we have institutions in all the continents, in South America, North America, and Australia, and Asia, everywhere. And all the Jesuit institutions have come together and made a forum, and it is called International Association of Jesuit Universities started in 2018. I had the privilege of going to Spain and be present when this was started. By virtue of being in this college, we are also members of this particular forum. We also have hundreds of B schools in the whole world. In India, we have about 10 of them. SXC is next door here, XLRI again in Jamshedpur, LIBA in Chennai, and so on and so forth. For them, also, there is what we call International Association of Jesuit B Schools. I have had the privilege of representing exercises and have papers presented annually wherever the program has been held. Now, let us understand what Jesuits have been all about as regards education. Today, our society emphasizes that no matter what pursuits we have, we ought to be trying to implement it in our respective works. Ours is education, and therefore it is expected that we all, namely Jesuits and professors, they are our collaborators. You are our students and you are going to be alumni one day. So Jesuits, both the management as well as the collaborators, the teachers, the gurus, need to show to the students the way to God through these spiritual exercises and discernment of spirits. It must be sounding to you quite alien, but this is what we need to understand and imbibe and do it in our day-to-day life and especially in our educational career. Number two, we are expected that we take special care of the poor and the underprivileged and try to empower them for dignity and bring about reconciliation and justice. Similarly, we are expected that we escort young people and give them a sense that there is a lot of works to do in the world and works of self-fulfillment and mutual transformation. And finally, all of us are expected to take care of the Mother Earth. So these are in various types we need to implement here. Now, the aim of Jesuit education is obviously excellence in academics and character formation. And thereby, we pay attention to the holistic development of each individual. And our duty is to prepare yourself not only for your career, but also to serve the society at different levels and be honorable citizens of the country. And we also are expected to respect each religion and culture and thereabout bring a kind of a society about which today we are looking for. Now, after you have completed your studies, you are going to be pursuing your career wherever you would be. You would be the alumni of this college. We already have the Alumni Association, so you would be the august members of the Alumni Association. We need to be connected because even in your pursuits, you need to continue whatever you have learned and learn afresh so that there is a mutual give and take. We try to enhance you further and you have your regard to your alma mater and we see to it that we continue this mission of education. Once again, I welcome you all and please know that as per the motto of the college, which is Lucens et Ardens, it is in Latin, it means lighting and shining forth. Just as the light is bringing about brightness, dispelling darkness, you are expected to bring about brightness in the darkness of ignorance wherever you are, and this is what we are cherishing. Lucens et Ardens. Once again, a hearty welcome to you all, and all these days when you are here, we'll be with you and bless you all. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Father Dr. Alex Eckham, for acquainting us with the greatness of St. Ignatius Xavier, without whom we would not have been here this moment. Thank you for letting us know about the illustrious history, mission, and vision of the society and the valuable contribution in the field of education. It is important to know about the patron and history of the college so that we can value and nurture the Xaverian spirit in its truest sense and carry forward the legacy. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. These are the words of Martin Luther King Jr. And our esteemed faculty over here, they aspire to achieve this goal day in and day out. Today we are holding the orientation program for 4 departments: Department of English, Department of English Language and Literature, Department of Hindi, and Animation, Department of Animation and BGMC. I'm sure all of you all are curious to know who your teachers are. So in this segment, the HODs, they'll be coming over here and they will tell you all about their respective department and introduce their faculty members. First, I would like to invite Dr. Juhi Horo. She's the head of the Department of English, to please come over here and tell us about the department and introduce the faculty members. Thank you.
Reverend Father Alex Eckham, Director of the College, Reverend Father Principal, Father Nabor Lakra, Vice Principals of the College, Father Pradeep Pujul and Father Ajay Minj, the Registrar of the College, Father Prabhat Kennedy Sori, the DSW, Professor Dr. Marcus Varner, the Controller of Exams, Dr. Professor B.K. Sana, the heads of the Department of Hindi and BJMC, my colleagues and faculty members, and my dear students. A very warm good morning and a hearty welcome to St. Xavier's College. Each one of you who is seated there as an audience is very special to us because you are chosen to be a part of the Xavier family. And you will be with us for 3 years. 3 years seems a very long time, but in fact it is quite a short time because here we follow the semester system and each semester of 6 months passes by in great haste. So, as a member of the faculty here, there are a few tips that I would like to give you. First of all, since you are going to be here as students, as learners for 3 years, it is advisable to have a very clearly marked goal or objective for yourselves so that you spend your entire 3 years' time in achieving that goal. Secondly, hard work. There is no shortcut to success and nothing pays like hard work. So be sure that you spend your 3 years' time working very, very hard, and by the time you get your degrees, you will be graduating from the gates of this college with flying colors. Thirdly, I would say that you should take responsibility for your learning because now you are into university or college education, which is wholly different from school education. So here, as learners, you have to be very, very proactive. You have to be proactive learners, invest your time wisely and fruitfully. And we have a very conducive learning environment here in the college. The college provides you with all the resources, facilities, amenities, and we have excellent faculty members who are very, very supportive and very encouraging. So I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful time here. Also, I would like to tell you that you should maintain regularity in attending your classes and regular in your self-study. And finally, there is nothing to, the last and final point is discipline. Discipline which